What's up, everybody? Rob Ferretti here, and I don't think you can appreciate just how difficult it is to be like an intelligent and rational human being in such a messed up world. So it may come across like Rob likes to complain about things all the time, but show me where I'm wrong, right? I look at stuff and I see stuff from a different light than most people, and today's story starts with that window. Hey UFC fans, if you're looking to bet on your favorite fighter battling it out up in Canada this weekend, well, you better stay tuned because I'm partnered up with DraftKings Sportsbook and I've got an offer for you. If you use my promo code, you're going to get $200 in bonus bets if you're a new sign up. That's right, new customers can bet just $5 on any of this weekend's fights and receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. Stay in on the action and use your $200 in bonus bets on DraftKings same fight parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight, including number of rounds and method of victory. The more bets you combine, the more you can win. DraftKings is the only place where you can bet the same fight parlays. If sports betting isn't yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy and have a chance to win cash prizes. So be sure to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today. New customers, use my promo code. It's going to get you $200 in bonus bets with just a $5 wager on anything, right? So that's a great deal. So be sure to try them out. DraftKings Sportsbook. Don't forget to use my promo code SSR. That's promo code SSR only at DraftKings Sportsbook. So what we're looking at here is the window on my garage, which clearly there's two broken windows. But the garage is going to be demolished. And let me not fall here in my yard. The garage is going to be demolished. And I wish I told you all the stories that I end up dealing with and be like, it's a head scratcher, it requires legal, or it's just like, you know what? That's not worth getting upset about. I'm just going to sort of move on. And I'm very good at solving problems because I don't get upset. But that doesn't mean I don't get annoyed from time to time. And that's where I bring you stories like this. So my garage is about 100 years old. Maybe it just had its birthday. I think it's 1921, so it's a little over 100 years old or thereabouts. We don't know the exact, but it's not a garage. I keep stuff in it until it gets knocked down. I'm looking to finish building the house here and putting a garage up here and a swimming pool, to enjoy myself. Look, I used to have one of those. Boom! Those things are indestructible. Anyway, so I've got this garage here and my homeowner's insurance decided that they were going to cancel my policy because I have broken windows on the garage, which they said I had to fix. And I said, well, I'm not going to fix that. I'm going to knock it down. Just don't even count it as a garage. Count it as a carport. I'll leave the door open. I got my hockey rink in there. And then they said I have the loose stuff behind here, like a crate of stone, just a couple of whatever. And they said that stuff has to be cleaned up. And I said, why does that stuff have to be cleaned up? Where do you want me to put it? That should have no bearing on my insurance policy for my homeowner's insurance. To them, it did. So we got in a little bit of we're going to cancel you if you don't fix that. And I said, well, I'll just find a different company. I'm not going to reward an irrational company. But by giving them my business when they're acting irrationally, doesn't make any sense, right? If I'm saying we'll exclude that. Now, I get, is there added risk to having a missing window on a garage? I don't know. If somebody is trespassing and they would have had to therefore break the window to get into the open garage, maybe because they could cut themselves on the non-existing, I don't know. I don't see an issue with a missing window when I say, look, I don't need that. I'm not going to make a claim for the window on the garage. I'm not even going to make a claim if the garage collapses upon itself. So you could put that in there. They didn't do it. So I went to switch policies. That's where it all started. Remember when I said started with the window? That's where it started. So I went to get another policy. And getting the other policy, I got a letter of cancellation saying, we're not going to renew you because you decided that you're not going to fix these two things. We're not going to renew you. I said, no problem. Went and got another policy, And I told the broker that it had to start on the day of the cancellation. Whatever the reason there was a gap or a lapse, the new policy started maybe a month later, right? Because they bill the insurance, they bill the mortgage company, and maybe the mortgage company didn't get the bill and didn't process it till the following month. No big deal. Anyway, here we are. The policy is now in effect. The mortgage company paid it. They call me up and say, hey, we need proof of coverage from February 22nd to March 22nd. And I said, well, you should have proof of coverage. There was no lapse. I let the broker know that we needed it. That, well, we don't have that. We show your policy started on March 22nd, not February 22nd. We need proof of coverage. And I'm like, well, I don't have anything for you. You can contact them, or guess what? There was no coverage for a month. Sorry about that. There's no claims. Let me know what you need me to sign. I'm sorry, sir. We can't do that. If you can't provide proof of coverage, we're going to have to purchase an insurance policy for you for the time of the lapse. And it's going to be whatever, $1,000. And I was like, wait a second. Whoever owns that insurance company that writes insurance for stuff that's already transpired, that's like betting on games that happened last night. It doesn't exist. So why don't you just tell me you're charging me a penalty? But instead you're telling me you're purchasing an insurance policy to cover something that wouldn't be coverable because it's already transpired. You're purchasing travel insurance for a trip that's already taken place. That makes no sense. And I'm now stuck dealing with this. And I mean, do I call out the mortgage company? Probably not. I don't want to deal with it. But the mortgage company is absolutely ridiculous in this instance because, like, if there was a lapse in coverage, sorry, you send me a letter, I get coverage or whatever. Or if I choose not to get coverage, then you can get a policy to to protect your asset because you are a partial owner in this. But at the end of the day, that is so frustrating. Now I call up I go back to my broker emails and I'm like, oh, look, yeah. And he said, we're good on the 22nd of February. So maybe that means I got a policy on the 23rd. That's one day. Are you going to charge me a penalty for a day? The fact that a mortgage company has the stones to charge you for a time period that's already elapsed, I've got no problem stating that there's no claims that are to be made and there's no claims that exist and there is no coverage. And I understand that there's no coverage and I am responsible for anything that transpired between the date that they paid for that policy and it was in effect and the time where the previous policy canceled. But right now it's a losing battle because, like, oh, we're in contract, we do what we want. And that is a fight that I don't want to have. Like, it's not worth a legal battle. It's frustrating. If I can't resolve this, guess what? I'll post the name of the mortgage company in the comments and you can go say, you guys stink, I'm canceling my mortgage. And I would advise you against using that mortgage company. Even the fact that I'm dealing with this, I'd advise you against using said mortgage company. But I don't want to, I'm not out to burn the place to the ground right now, but very frustrating. Just something that I am dealing with. And I feel it's worth sharing because it's frustrating. Anytime I have something frustrating, it may seem negative for me to bring it up. There's good things I bring up. Nobody cares. But I bring up stuff like this, which is absolutely absurd and provides no logic. And then people are like, oh, yeah. So be aware. What's the lesson here? Be aware of your insurance coverage on your house if you have one. Or these are problems that I have. You may rent. You may not have these problems. You may have a policy. You may own your house, so you don't need to maintain coverage if you want. I don't know. Everybody's different. But it is just a reminder to maintain your insurance coverage and maybe fix the window. On principle, I'm not going to put a new window into a garage that I'm about to knock down. It's absurd. So that's Travelers Insurance. They lost my business. That was nonsense. And the other one, I forget who I even have now for insurance coverage on this place. But I've got no reason to not like them right now, but very frustrating. Rob Ferretti, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me rant for a minute about silly stuff that happens in this world that most people may not even pay attention to, but it really ticks me off. See you next time. Quick shout out to my own company, Adventure Drive. So we do these driving events all over the world. 2023 is no exception. We've got 3 trips coming up. One from Washington, D.C. to Nashville. This is from April 26th to the 30th. Then in July, we're doing a trip to Italy, which is going to be phenomenal. It's all northern Italy, starting and ending in Rome. You're going to love that one. And if you can't make it overseas or to the East Coast trip, you've got plenty of runway for the September 20th to 25th drive, starting in Napa Valley and ending in Las Vegas. That's going to be a great trip as well. Check them out. I put a link right below in the description of every video. Hope to see you out there.